Hey guys, today I want to talk about sex in the workplace, and specifically any kind of personal relationships in the workplace. I have, unfortunately I guess, never had a real job, so I don't really have any experience with this, but I've been watching Parks and Rec and The Office and stuff like that, and I've seen it happen, or it come up a lot on those shows and on a bunch of different shows where a workplace is present, and I think it's absolute bullshit, so I wanted to talk to you guys about it and see if you guys have any experience with it or any problems with it. And it is the policy that you cannot date, have sex with, or marry anyone who is your superior or inferior or coworker. And I think that's absolute bullshit. First of all, the main reason is because I don't think that your work should ever be able to dictate what you do in your personal life at all whatsoever. The second reason is I think that all of the reasons that that policy is put in place are just practically bullshit, right? Okay, so let's go over the first reason why a lot of companies will do that, and that is that they don't want anyone giving anyone any unfair treatment. Now, imagine someone who is attracted to someone else, which is probably going to happen in the workplace, and it's inevitable regardless of policy. Isn't that person who's attracted to the person trying to get them to sleep with them going to do more favors for them than the person who's already dating them? I mean, it makes more sense when it's more low-key to be like, oh, this girl's gonna have sex with me. If I do something really nice for her, maybe she'll have sex with me. Like, that kind of thing motivates men and women sometimes a lot more than just having a mate. Now, you might actually stick up for the mate if some big, huge catastrophe is happening, but in terms of like little unfair favors, you're gonna do that more to the person you have a crush on who hasn't yet given it up to you than the person you've been married with for 10 years. And that to me just makes no sense. They're still going to do favors, you're still going to be attracted to the person, and you're still going to hope that maybe something will, you know, kindle the fire enough for them to actually sleep with you. So doing favors is going to happen regardless of whether or not they're in an official relationship. The second reason is because, what was the other reason? I totally forget. Oh, because they don't want to be sued or get in trouble if that couple breaks up. And I think that's kind of ridiculous because, first of all, just put in place something that you have to sign when you become a worker at the place that says you're never going to sue anyone for any personal relationships they have at work. Like, it's not hard. You can just like have HR have a copy of that just inserted in there. So I think the whole like disclosing your new relationship with HR the time it comes up is kind of stupid, and making a big deal out of it and stuff like that. Another thing that I think is kind of ridiculous is the fact that they're putting this rule on people so there's no drama in the workplace when these people who are working are fucking adults. They can do what they want, and it's basically just like treating people like they're children, or treating people like they can't behave themselves in a, you know, professional manner, and I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. When I was in school, I was waiting. Like, I was really excited for the time when I would be out of school because I felt like school dictated too much of what I was allowed to do and what I was and was not allowed to do. One of the anecdotes I have is I used to skip school a lot because school is very easy and quite boring. And I used to skip school, and I was walking home from school one day and I wasn't feeling well, and one of the security guards for the school pulled up next to me and was like, "You can't be doing this. We're gonna take you to the principal's office and we're gonna get you in trouble." And I'm like, it's my body, it's my time, I should be able to do what the fuck I want. I'm 18 years old, and I'm one of the older kids in my grade, so when I was a senior, I was 18 years old, and I wasn't 18 years old when I was going to high school, but I was in college when I was like 16 or 17. No, I was 16 to 18. I was in college at the same time as being enrolled in high school, and in college you could show up at any time you wanted. You could take any number of classes as long as I took enough classes to get my high school credits. I didn't even have to work toward college credits, even though I did, but it was so weird to me that I'm still not 18 yet, and I'm not being told what to do anymore, and I can just like drive down there whenever the fuck I want and have like 2-hour days while I'm in high school, while I'm in like sanctioned, I don't know the actual word for it, but like actual sanctioned public high school. It made no sense to me that when I was 16 I couldn't walk home, and I meant to say 16, not 18, I couldn't like walk home when I wasn't feeling well on my own without like going through this huge ridiculous amount of like calling my parents, like okaying it, making sure I was actually sick. Like, all that stuff was just ridiculous to me. It's my body, and it's a free country, I should be able to do what I want, and I was excited to get out of school so that I felt that way. And then all of these rules that they're, you know, imparting on you in work, like, that's just ridiculous to me. And I know a lot of people put a lot of effort and time into their work, and it's like their second home or whatever, so it makes sense. But for me, if I was going to go to a 9-to-5 job, it would be like the place where I have to go in order to make money, and it wouldn't be a huge part of my life. I wouldn't bring work home with me. I wouldn't, you know, make it something that's a huge part of my life. So for them to dictate what I can't do for the rest of my life, or to keep me away from the love of my life or the sex of my life, just doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. And I want to hear from you guys. Like, is there any actual viable reason that you can't get around with logic and just being a fucking professional adult that makes sense for a company to say you cannot date this person even if it's outside of work? I understand no PDA, I understand, you know, not being able to go to certain sites that might get viruses on your computer, I understand, you know, making sure that you're using the company's time correctly. All of these things just make sense to have a, you know, smoothly running company, but you can't say, hey, you guys can't be friends outside of work, or hey, you hung out with Juliet last night? Well, that's okay. Now, did you have sex with her? Yes, well, that's not okay. You're fired. That just, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I know there have been a lot of problems that arise, but, you know, even as adults, you make mistakes, and you should be allowed to make those mistakes, and you should be allowed to live your life, because work is not some kind of terrible, you know, dictatorship where one person is telling you how the rest of your life is gonna go. Like, I would just quit that place and go somewhere else, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. So that kind of outraged me that there was such a huge issue in Parks and Rec about that, and in general, I'm just like screaming at screens where stupid shit is happening, and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not a part of a community like this. That would be fucking awful. So yeah, and I totally understand not being able to have sex at work. Like, that makes sense, you know? That's kind of gross to some people. It's kind of hot to others, but I don't think there should be any issue. I don't think anyone should actually feel like, oh, they're gonna give that person, you know, special treatment because they're whatever the fuck. You know, nepotism is something that you have to watch for and just, you know, reprimand, but you can't say that you can't work with so-and-so because nepotism might happen, or you can't say you can't work with so-and-so because, you know, she's attractive and you're attractive and you guys might do favors for each other because you want in each other's pants. It's just, it's very childish to me, and it's something that seems kind of like all-inclusive in the handbook of logic for human beings, you know? So, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out my gaming channel, please, because my gaming channel is booming right now. It has a lot of, well, by booming, I mean I'm trying to make it boom by adding new content. So it's got a bunch of really cool, all over the place content. I'm gonna start a series, or I did start a series, and the first episode is uploaded entitled Tara's Manga Review. I reviewed Food Wars, which is pretty awesome. They're really quick videos where you get to see me full screen like this, and I talk about something I'm very passionate about, which is manga. And then I also am going to bring back every other week the series where I do a list of something. So I think next week is going to be top 10 hottest girls in games, and then the week after that I'll do another manga review, and I'll switch off like that. And then also I'm going to start up a whole series of Vygar highlights, because I play Vygar so often. He's my main, and now that he's a little bit more popular, I think more people will be interested in watching me play him, because I was like the original fucking Vygar main. Like, nobody played him very much, and so I really love him, and I made a whole new overlay for that, and I think it's gonna be cool. So don't forget to check that out. I would really appreciate a subscribe on my gaming channel, and that's youtube.com/TaraBabcockGames. I love that channel so much. I like talking to you guys about philosophy and stuff, but that channel, like making the content there, just gets me really excited, and it's kind of sad to see that it doesn't have as many comments there or whatever, because I put a lot of work into it. I put a lot more work into it than here. I mean, I think a lot about the things I'm gonna say here, and some of the you know, episodes like Sex Ed or Fan Service or F&M, they have a lot of work put into them, but it's not like fuck ton of editing, a fuck ton of playing, a fuck ton of just enjoying games. So yeah, bye guys, thanks for watching.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying my free content and you want to keep my content flowing, please consider supporting my Patreon campaign. Pledge a couple dollars in support of my YouTube and live stream, and get some cool exclusive content while you're helping me reach my goals. Link is down in the description. Thank you, anything helps. Hey there, vlog and fan service lovers. I just wanted to let you guys know that I now have a serious upload schedule. Every day is going to be normal update and topic vlogs, except Wednesdays are going to be interchangeably Tara Reads Comments and Sex Ed with Tara. So that means every other Wednesday is Tara Reads Comments, and every other Wednesday is Sex Ed with Tara. And every other Friday is going to be Friday Night Mail or Fan Service Fridays. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, as well as my gaming YouTube at youtube.com/TaraBabcockGames. And if you want to watch my gameplay live, don't forget to check out TaraBabcock.tv or twitch.tv/TaraBabcock. Subscribe, and don't forget to smile. Bye guys.